Evening, everybody. I was about to say good morning. Good lord. Okay, try that again. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Crit Test Dummies. We have been at this for slightly over a year now. We premiered with Escape from Wayloon by Alan Patrick. Mine just went bee. On May 4th, May 5th. So we're a little over a year now. We are just starting to wrap it up. This whole year with a final storyline done by me. Everything we've done so far has been off of dmsguild.com. One-shots by independent authors. The goal from the beginning was to try and string this into a longer narrative. So today we start figuring out the answers to what the hell has been happening with everything. Last time, our quartet of, I still don't know whether to call you heroes or not, entered the Feywild. Not really of their own choice, but nonetheless we're there. And we're sent after the Prince of Hearts, the Prince of Hearts being a powerful archfey of the Seelie court, the summer court that rules over the Feywild. Without which, one, he'll die eventually, and two, if the heart's destroyed or leaves the Feywild itself will eventually tear itself apart, as it's one of the major artifacts that holds it together. Oops. So, our quartet ventured into a 4-dimensional glacier labyrinth, came across some interesting bottomless pits, some tricksters, some fairy dragons, and finally a coven of hags that had stolen the heart. And doing battle with the hags, 2 of them escaped, but one of them gave them a way to follow to the plane of Pandemonium, where her sisters had escaped too. With this information and this item, this tuning fork that will allow them to plane shift to the proper location, they returned to the hut of Lilith, a mysterious, powerful fae that had been helping them through their last few set of adventures and giving them some direction on that. So we pick up outside of Lilith's hut, where she is currently, as she frequently does, drinking tea. But this time she is joined by a tall, elven-looking woman in a shining emerald gown. Long auburn red hair that seems to shift to every possible color of leaves, every red, orange, and yellow, as she moves and the light strikes it at different angles. Both calmly sitting, drinking tea. And upon your arrival, Lilith looks up. Oh, my dears, you fucked that up, didn't you?
This time actually was not really our fault. I mean, the least of our own fault in recent times.
Well, do you have the heart?
I don't even know why people keep hiring us, to be honest.
We know where it is.
And where would that be?
Probably in the plane of Pandemonium.
Oh. So simple to get to then, isn't it?
Is it? I have this thingy here.
Oh, goody. The woman in green turns to you all. And so you'll be going after them now, yes?
Do we have a choice?
Of course you have a choice. Of course, all choices have consequences. Now then...
Would you assist us once more in getting there?
That's the plan. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm...
Sounds like fun.
Titania.
I would never have guessed.
So you know of me?
Yes. You are, the ruler of the summer court, no? Are you not?
Correct. And the prince is my son. And your failure has put us in an awkward position. We can hold him stable shortly, but that requires our attention, so you shall be completing your task.
Yeah, the problem probably is that the Queen of Air and Darkness might be where we're going.
Oh, most certainly, I would expect so. My sister is rather a pain that way.
Could you, I mean, any sort of information might be helpful there, I think.
What do you wish to know?
Any Achilles heel equivalents there?
Any what?
Like, sort of like vulnerable spots, things that got covered by a leaf when bathing in dragon's blood or something of the likes. I'm missing my... I'm mixing my references up here, but you know what I mean.
She begins to laugh.
Interesting customs.
And her laugh sounds like there's something to it, like branches swaying gently in a summer breeze. Nothing nearly so simple, I'm afraid. Come, have a seat. Have some tea. We'll answer what questions we can while we await the last member of our little council.
Oh, there's more.
Ooh.
Now then, to your question of weak points, my sister's not nearly so easy as that. But if you can disrupt her plans, that should be plenty. I don't expect you to kill her. That would be quite beyond you, I would imagine.
So it would seem, but be assured that we are quite the disruptors. We have
Have a good track record. It's not thinking of that, but disruption, yeah.
Lilith kind of chuckles at that. Yes, they are that.
May I ask, though, what are her plans?
That our third member might be able to shine more light on. Now then, let's see here. Please, have some tea. Lilith. Yes, please. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and you all blink, and suddenly there's 4 more chairs around the little patio table that they're at. Mm-hmm. And the table itself is slightly larger somehow to accommodate you all. Do you sit and drink?
Is
the
that
usual fake glamour.
Is that the repair tea?
It could be.
Karen will drink it. He's loving the tea.
Okay.
I'll drink it.
Great. Hathar, Gustav?
Sure, but begrudgingly.
They offer it, they don't force you to drink it.
Oh, I would pour it in my mouth and just have it fall out.
Now then, for my part, and Lilith kind of chimes in. I've been tracking some of those that you saw on the glacier. Been interesting recently. Quite active. Gathering things. Little excursion in the swamp before with the dragons was rather interesting, don't you think?
What swamp?
My goodness, you were there. You fought 2 black dragons? Surely you recall that.
That was already so long ago. I've already forgotten it. Was it last week?
Yeah, in game time, it was about a week ago.
Are you saying that someone else was in
2
the
weeks.
The swamp, yes, the swamp.
Yeah, one could get easily confused. Black dragons, white dragons. We have like some red dragons with us all the time. A bunch of dragons, really. Like.
I remember the swamp. It was wonderful and gloomy.
Yes, it is quite lovely this time of year, isn't it? They've been acquiring artifacts, like those crowns, I believe is what they were after, that the dragons wore. Interesting enough, they tend to like to control people, not things, though a few of them do enjoy the odd rarity here and there.
Are you saying these are the dragons who have been item hunting, or someone else?
The hags, darling, the hags. They were interested in the crowns, my dear. I'm not sure if you put that together yet.
I might recall a thing or two about those ones. Possibly some
you do recall that the 2 twin dragons did have identical matching crowns that they wore.
Yeah.
And as you cast your minds back, you also remember that the hags, in exchange for helping you, wanted first dibs of whatever items the dragons had. So it seems like they were probably interested in those crowns.
We did give them something, right?
They did take some stuff, yes, but because the dragons escaped, the crowns weren't an option.
Yeah. So these hags, they're still around now, following us here to this glacier.
Oh, they didn't follow you here.
So did we unknowingly do the right thing at the dragons?
You did something. You've always been doing something.
Yes,
what
we
makes
are
you
agents of
interesting.
chaos.
Agents of chaos.
That's why you're
indeed.
so much fun.
Well, Agent of Chaos is a fun
And
thing
as
to
you're
be.
discussing this, you notice, despite the fact that it's basically mid-afternoon, you actually can see the moon in the sky. And as you're talking, almost
might be coming.
almost stepping from behind a tree, it seems, a woman that looks to be in her mid-40s, but still elegant in her bearing. A long white silver dress and long dark black hair. And almost like with Titania, when the light catches it, shimmers between the different colors of autumn leaves, her hair shimmers somehow between black and silver, depending on how the light hits it. And as she approaches, "Good day, Hathar. It's good to see you again. And to make the acquaintance of the rest of you. I see the whole group is now gathered.
And who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Salune. Might know me as
I'm kidding.
the goddess of the moon.
I immediately kneel.
Oh, cool.
Rise, robot. There's no need to kneel here. We're among... She almost says... She starts to say we're among allies.
Frenemies.
Allies. At least for the moment. I'm at... What's the name you're going by now, dear? And she turns towards Lilith. Lilith will do fine. Lilith. A while back, on an island far to the northwest of your world, some of her sisters were trying to capture the light of the moon or some such nonsense. It seems our paths have crossed since then. I'm been watching as artifacts and objects of power have been turning up much more frequently than normal recently. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Along with reports. Yeah. Along with reports from my agents of a masked figure here and there associated with them. Sometimes near a corrupted lighthouse, once peddling unusual eggs on a far outside outpost. Once in the swamps near the place you'd call Comir, I believe. It's not likely a coincidence, I think. And then, many of these artifacts show up at a ritual that you stopped, I believe. Thank you for that.
Which one was that? With the white dragon or?
We stopped a lot of rituals.
Specifically the one to raise the avatar of Shar.
Ah, yes, that one.
And
Totally.
by the way, thank you again for the return of my jewels. That was rather important.
Sure.
I personally held them in my hand. No problem.
You did? Now then, though.
Like before he died.
Now then. There is a chance that this figure that's been turning up, you might know him as Mask, son of Shar, minor god of plots and plans and intrigue. So if he's messed up in this, it's probably bad.
Was he trying to raise his father?
No, his mother. Shaw, remember that whole ritual that you stopped?
Aye. Right. Char, I'm with you now. I'm with you.
Is that where the name charlatan comes from?
I don't believe so, though that is an interesting guess. Anyways, Lilith jumps in at this point. Ran into this one as she sat up at the island. Some of my acquaintances were up to things, and I like to keep tabs. Turns out that a lot of my acquaintances were also collecting items. It seemed not likely a coincidence. Which means possibly an alliance between Shar and the Queen of Air and Darkness. Both of them tend to enjoy chaos. Both of them tend to enjoy darkness. Seems natural.
Yeah, it's in their name.
You're a little conflicted here.
I feel like Hasha is on the wrong side here.
So, Titania kind of steps into this point. Which means, after discussing with our colleagues, our suspicion is that my sister is likely trying to do the same ritual, using my son's heart instead of the tears as the final piece. You
Well,
should probably stop
we can have that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
How?
However, I don't know, but isn't it wise for you to have like a counterpart? And shouldn't there be a counterpart? Like where there's lightness, there's dark. Where there's winter, there's summer.
Again, I am not asking you to kill my sister. Quite frankly, it'd be amusing to watch you try. Simply stop this ritual, retrieve the heart so that they cannot complete it. Ideally, in time to save my son. That would be nice.
And, I mean, what will happen if we don't?
Almost on cue, you hear a rumble in the distance. Well, for one, you won't be coming back to this plane anytime soon.
I mean, it's nice here, don't get me wrong, but
It's no water deep, but yeah.
Salune, at this point, steps in. Beyond their interests, it is doubtful that Titania's sister is wanting an avatar just for the fun of it. Shar's already attempted to push her influence in your plane. The sister might do the same. The sister more powerful might help Shar try again.
Can hardly argue with that.
And remember, my dears, I also told you eventually if this place goes poof, so will yours.
Yeah, so it would seem it's a vital effort that we are about to undertake, if we shall agree. So you would probably be interested in assisting us to your utmost capabilities, no?
I've assisted you quite a bit, I believe. But I suppose I can do more. Let me think for a moment.
One can always do more.
Titania, I can help. My sister's realm is not pleasant, but I can offer you some assistance in resisting the effects of the place, if you'll have it.
that's a good start.
Of course.
Lovely. My dears, you might wish to cover your ears as she turns to Salune and Lilith. And then she stares at the four of you and claps her hands together. And instead of just a nice clap, it is thunderous. and reverberates off of the trees around you. And you are all deafened.
Oh.
And you hear
Okay.
Lilith in your heads this time. I thought really by now you would have learned to ask before taking a favor from a fae.
I mean,
Error.
not really a problem. We can all communicate telepathically anyway.
I know, but it was amusing to watch that happen anyways. So Lune steps forward as well. And as she steps forward and extends her hand, there is almost these rays of light that come down from this odd mid-afternoon moon. And as they hit her hand, they turn into 4 jewels on light silver chains. She says in your heads as well, if you wish, these are valuable tools. Much like I myself wane and then wax again. Should your life wane, you can rise again. At least once.
Handy.
If you
Seems
wish.
particularly useful.
Violence as well.
Can one
She ex-
person use more than one?
No. It's less a second chance and more saving some of yourself for later.
Oh.
It's one for each of us.
There is one for each of you should you choose to take it.
And do they require attunement?
They do not.
Ooh. I accept.
Oh, we just lost somebody, so our videos have gone all crazy, so this will be an audio thing for a second.
Classic.
It's Chris this time. I'm used to Patrick getting bumped.
Hey.
Anyways, so Selune offers the jewels to you.
You're
Who would
muted, Chris.
I'm still
would-
in the same place. I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Okay, good.
Who would like to take them?
Yes,
Of course.
I like the sound of
Give me
this.
that.
Yeah, 100% I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
taking it.
I once had an item that did something similar myself, but I had to give it up, so I like this.
As soon as all 4 of you reach out your hands and touch the jewels, there's this feeling of that comes over you. And it leaves you just for a moment panting for breath, almost like you just run full out for a couple 100 meters. Your maximum HP is lowered by 10.
Oh no,
no.
What am I going to do?
However, I know. If you die, not unconscious, but actually die, you will be revived with 10 HP, and the pendant will shatter.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's a one-time use, basically banking some HP for if you die.
Nice.
If I could somehow get this to combo with my own innate ability, that would be quite good.
Can I modify this somehow?
No, it is what it is.
No, I mean, can I modify it in my character sheet? Can I somehow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to change your HP.
HP management.
Yeah.
Maximum override max HP.
There we go.
That's the easiest way to do it. Excuse me for a second while I move people back to their proper
So-
windows.
How much time do we have to prepare?
We are...
Any flaming swords? Any? I mean, we don't even have a healing potion. I believe.
We
Can
literally
you
have
refresh us?
Lilith just kind of in your heads all again. We give you help, we give you tea, and all you do is complain, 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 complain. Really, you're ungrateful. Still, I
Do you
suppose.
need us?
Oh,
Yeah, we kind of have to save your entire realm. So
and
I mean,
Gustav, only you hear this part. My dear, I don't need you. I just want you. And you've already said yes.
Okay, but
Ooh.
if it is so
And then to
tedious
the
for
rest of you, you can use my horses. They can get you where you want to go. And as she says that, you see 4 beautiful white horses, like Shadowfax from Lord of the Rings. 4 identical versions of it. Kind of trot around the side of the cabin that you swear had no stables behind it. All 4 of them in silver, gilded saddle and reins and riding gear. You all can ride horses, yes?
Might have some experience, aye.
No idea.
Come here, dears. And she waves to the horses, and one of them comes forward. The tuning fork you said you got, please, and thank you.
Yeah. I don't really have much use for it anyway.
Okay. And she holds it out to one of the horses, and the horse kind of puts his head down. There we are. Now, be dears. Don't throw them, unless it'll be funny. Now, any more questions, or would you like to maybe get on with it?
Aye, I've got something for you. Who else has been tracking these items?
Besides the 3 of us, you mean?
Aye, besides the 3 of you and the 4 of us.
Well, Salune steps in. I imagine, at the very least, as it's their plot, the Queen of Darkness and Shah, as well as Mask, have had a hand in things. Some of the Queen's servants that I don't know as well on site have probably been around and involved. Anywhere you've seen chaos, it's likely been something caused by them.
Interesting.
Well, or you.
I was just gonna say that.
There were all those other parties as well.
Yeah, this is why I was wondering.
No. I do have my own servants that have been working for me and tracking. That's who reported Mask and his involvement, as well as some of these other odd occurrences. But they're not going on this trip. I don't think they're quite ready for this. Make no mistake, where you're going is dangerous. Good luck.
So, are we not getting a long rest or anything?
We drink the tea.
We drink tea all the time. Does it always mean you're refreshed, or I don't like
Special tea.
And Lilith kind of jumps into all your heads again. Really, by now, you should trust the power of tea. You all, over the course of this meeting, as you've been drinking tea, you all feel quite refreshed and have the effects of a long rest.
I'm more of a coffee person, but I appreciate it.
Many great things can be discussed and learned over tea. One day I'll tell you a little bit more about the law.
Gustav, do you
Yes?
have one of those spells that can change the appearance of things?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Could we make this horse a bit more suitable?
Oh, that?
Darker?
Lilith, almost like she's reading your mind. You could just ask, dear. It'd be much more polite.
Didn't want to offend.
Okay, I would
My
like to have
dear.
a rainbow-colored horse then.
Do you think I would be offended by you asking to make something a bit more dark?
I guess.
And she snaps her fingers and you turn around. One of the horses is jet black from nose to tail with bright glowing red eyes. You've heard of stories
Stroke
of
its-
creatures called nightmares that are like
Stroke its
black
mane.
stallions that with fiery eyes and fire from their nostrils that looks very similar to those descriptions.
Hathar approves. Thank you.
Got like
Can
a
I
fire
request the
tattoo
color
with
too,
bag.
please?
No. Go along now.
I'll change the mane of my horse to green with prestidigitation. And I flip her off.
The horse turns around and bites you.
Oh no!
Mine's 20 hit points. Okay.
You do have a limited time where we can hold the Prince stable for quite some time, but not infinitely. With Titania's help, you have a day?
Okay.
Maybe?
When this is all over, perhaps you should tell your son to keep the heart where it should be. Something like this might not happen again. I think humanoids need the heart, inside them.
Titania just looks at you. My dear metal friend, I suggest if in the future, if you have comments about living creatures, organic matter, you keep your damn mouth shut.
Oh, snap!
But you fleshlings are so interesting. I'm learning.
Here we go,
Right then.
everybody.
Don't worry.
Here we go.
She doesn't mean it. It's fine. I
Lilith,
think it's time we should leave this place.
Lilith says in your
It's
head,
time to go.
you may wish to apologize, though it would be rather funny to see what happens if you don't. As she's saying this, you notice, Aku, that your hearing is starting to come back.
I apologize for my words.
Much better.
I'd like to
Think?
give Stalune a bow as we leave.
And she gives you a slight head nod in acknowledgement. Lilith finally stands up. Well, off you go, and smacks one of the horses on the ass and just starts trotting off with all four of you.
See you later.
And as the horses trot, there is this moment of incredible speed where the trees around you just start roaring by you, almost like in Star Wars when they go to light speed and the stars just kind of pinpoint in light. It's very similar to that, but in green instead of white points.
Punch it, horsey.
And as they're running and you start to just kind of almost look at each other like, what the fuck is happening? There is this moment of slowing down, and as you slow down, you find yourself in a cave. And then, as you're looking around, you see not much. There's a bit of light to the side. Just off to your left, seems just a little bit further down the cavern. And then off to the right is just darkness. And as you're looking, you feel, but don't hear, this constant wind pushing against you. And you also, as you're looking around, you see these stalactites, stalagmites, and walls that just go off into the distance in this endless cavern. All of them smooth and wind-worn by this constant jet of air that seems to move through this place.
Is it strong or weak or?
The wind, it's manageable. It's not like blowing you back. It's almost like a constant pressure, like being in a weak wind tunnel. And it just does not stop. You also notice, you've been in caves. You've been in dark places. Your sight is impaired, even beyond what you'd expect. Mechanically speaking, your dark vision is reduced by half.
Karen takes a look around and says, well, suppose this must be pandemonium then. Have any of ye been here before? Ye
No.
magic ones?
But I kind of like it. For that, the wind is annoying, but
I don't really know why I haven't really checked out this place before. I mean, I have access to it at any time, don't get me wrong, but it's sort of like when you have the means to travel anywhere you want, you never go anywhere. because you always put it off. So,
As you're discussing this, the horses are slowly walking towards the light source further down the cavern to your left.
Yeah, fair.
Do we think this is a plane we can just move in, or is it like we were before and we have to be a little more unpredictable?
how would we know? I mean, the horses seem to be sniffing it out just fine. I don't know. And we cannot really see far. Let's see where they lead us. Usually, fake creature instincts are not that bad.
As you...
Could I have prepared to speak with animals while we were riding here?
No.
I never get any use out of this ability.
Only... When are you allowed to prepare spells? Is that like over a long rest?
I think I don't mean prepare. I mean cast. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I can cast it as a ritual, so to speak.
It's hard to do ritual when you're plane shifting on a horse.
Yeah, never mind.
I start, or maybe we did that already in the shack.
Mm-hmm.
I start with, or like I assume I would have the time to do the whole telepathic bond thing, given that we cannot hear.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're not even animals, probably.
Right.
Mm.
As you are continuing to just kind of let these horses go where they want to go, you see that the source of the light is actually a small tunnel. Small-ish. It's big enough that a horse and rider can go through single file pretty easily. And as you go through this with just the sound of each other's voices in your heads and just the feel of the wind constantly at your back this whole ride, you pass through this tunnel and find yourself in a town.
Huh.
And as you pass through the other side of the tunnel, you see that's kind of a makeshift gatehouse with 2 hobgoblins, one on either side. I just look up at you. And they start speaking. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
I mean, we can't hear
Of
it either,
course
right?
you are.
Hathar, you understand the hobgoblins as they turn to you and say, "What are you doing here?"
Business.
"What business?"
None of yours.
Greetings, humanoids.
"You're riding the ladies' horses. That's interesting business.
Indeed.
The family would like to know what business this is you're having. Otherwise, you can't come through, and you'll do your business elsewhere."
And you're going to stop us.
You can't understand any of this. This is all in Abyssal.
Right, of course. Wait, can we even hear them?
I'm giving Hathar the benefit of
yeah.
the doubt of at least reading lips well enough to get the sense of what's being said.
That's a very good point. No. We'll be continuing, please. Open the gates.
No.
Is there a problem?
No, just these two. I think there's many ways to solve this problem.
Could, one of them looks to the other one, pay the toll if you don't want to say what your business is?
You are convinced by the mundane and pettiness of money?
Or you cannot and just stay out in the wind?
I get off the horse and start walking towards them slowly.
Hey, stop your friend there.
Oh.
I stop right in front of the one that's moving his mouth.
Go.
How much?
If you're riding the ladies' horses, you probably have something interesting. You're right, we don't really care about money. Something interesting. We'll let you go through.
Something interesting. I reach into my robe and pull out a
Shall we kill them?
No, let's remain reasonably inconspicuous for now. I pull out a
They're just hobgoblins.
No, but that's not the point. I pull out a bag, a small packet, and give it to them, and just say, let's say, if you ever need to go anywhere unnoticed, this might help.
And you see them turn, and you see them from the side of a side that they're moving their mouths, but you can't hear anything, and because they're turned, you can't make sense of what they're saying either. Make a persuasion check, please.
What are you doing?
18. Turn back to you. Not bad. Listen, you're new here. If you have any business to do, I suggest you take it over to the Scaly Dog. It's easy to find. It's about a 10-minute ride in on this route.
Thank you.
We never saw you. And they open the gate up and let you through.
And with luck, no one will see you. Point at the back.
That was the Dust of Tracelessness, I assume?
It's lets them vanish for like 2
Ah, right,
minutes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you pass by, the gates closing again behind you. Hobgoblins take their post again.
I say to the others, we have it seems that even in the plane of pandemonium, an inn is the place to begin.
And as you come in, this is you realize that this is a full-fledged city set into one of these gigantic caverns. There's magical light set periodically like street lamps that keep the place lit up. And looking around, you do see people going about their day. But when I say people, it is a ragtag mix of anything and everything. Very few humanoids included. There are things you recognize as various types of devils, various types of demons, a few fey creatures, a few... you're not sure what they are. Blobs. Moving through here and there. But it seems to be a functioning city. You see here and there what seem to be shop windows. You see here and there stalls with various, you're guessing, food items laid out. Mushrooms as well as meat-type substances that you can identify neither by sight nor by the rather pungent smell that they have going past them. Somewhere between sweet rotted meat and charcoal barbecue mixed together. It's an interesting assortment. And everyone notices you.
On their shining white horses. Aaron's eye is like twitching the whole way through. It's like
I get the feeling that our anonymity is we are to be expected, I think. So
as the horse is clumping through, you do see shops that look to sell magical things that you recognize as magical items. You do see a shop that seems to have some potions.
Oh.
However, we don't have coin. Maybe there. Do we see like what could be identified as a bank where you can change mortal plane coin for displaying coin or something?
I think gold works here.
It's all the same.
Probably. Maybe we can exchange something.
You can always try.
Let's.
Yeah. Garen
We
will,
could use potions.
Garen will like go up to one of the random stalls, anything at all, like some beat stall. Just like wave a bag of coin and sort of jiggle it about.
As
And
I would
you
like to purchase real estate, please.
as you step up to this like meat stall, you look up and there is a giant minotaur that's standing there.
Nice.
What the fuck you outsiders want?
What?
What the fuck do you outsiders want? And again,
What?
you don't understand it. Hathar,
Oh, okay.
make a perception check, please.
Peter,
Business.
can we hear again?
No.
Okay.
You see his mouth moving. You don't hear anything at all. You're completely deafened. Hathar, you look at the mouth to try and make sense of what the Minotaur is saying, but with the bovine face, trying to read the lips, it doesn't quite match up to what you're used to, and you can't really make sense of it. You can all read the expression on the Minotaur's face, though, and it's not welcoming.
I think that's the.
Could you speak a bit slower? I cannot hear you.
Garen is like waving the coin, the like coin purse again. It's like 50 pieces of gold or whatever, and he's like just shouting, "Gold! Gold for the heathens! Here, gold!"
And
Garen,
the Minotaur just reaches underneath the stall, pulls out a giant claymore, sets it back on his shoulder, and turns his head to look at you.
I put my hand on my axe.
I put my hand on Father Garen's shoulder. Like,
Well, I think what we've learned, what we needed to. Heathens are still heathens, even in this accursed place.
I will say in a Bissell, probably too loudly because I can't hear properly. It's like, shop, buying.
He just holds out a finger and points down the road in the direction you're already traveling.
Okay. Thank you.
Flips you off as you go. Who got off of their horses, by the way? I'm assuming Hathar and Father Garen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I already got off outside, and I have my horses probably following me.
So
Outside.
Gustav, you're the only one that remained on your horse.
Sure.
The other three of you, after this interaction at the stall, you turn back. Horses aren't there.
Gregory, no!
So now it's just Gustav on a horse.
Did I notice them disappearing while the horses were with me? Or
Nope.
anything?
Very similar to how things shift in the Feywild when you're not looking at them. As you're watching this conversation, attempted conversation between the Minotaur and your companions, you turn back and the horses are gone.
Well, that can't be good.
Certainly not. How about
I
those
think
horses
this
you were
was-
looking at before?
I think this was intended. They might
Maybe.
return once we have to leave again. That's
Oh.
Well, my horse is still here.
Do you continue on down the road?
then get off the horse and look around and see if it's still there when you look back.
Oh, no.
Why would I do that?
So as you're going down, you do see a shop window, like I said, that has potions and other magical items within the shop if you care to try. You also know you're nearing the scaly dog, the inn that the hobgoblins directed you to.
Yeah, I mean, if we approach the shop, then we'll start looking around, especially for potions, but also, I'm going to...
As you step
I'd
towards
stay
the
outside.
shop, who's going in, who's
please-
staying outside?
Please buy potions for me too. I'll watch the dog, the horse. I mean,
I
We
hate
could
to.
use Hathar, definitely.
I
as a
hate to be
translator.
I hate to be so crass, but does anyone have any money?
Do ye not have money?
I do not have very much. No.
Really?
I have like a lot of gold.
Aye, we were well paid for that 7,500 or whatever it was.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yes, I forgot about that.
I was about to say, you've
I
got
have
a
plenty of
ton
money.
of gold so far.
Yes, actually, I have plenty of money. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have like 15,000.
I have 50,000 or so.
As you
I think I just forgot to
Like,
note it
Aaron is
down
nothing
on my
compared to
inventory
all
sheet.
always
in my
mark the
robes.
gold you get. So who's approaching the shop?
Yeah, come on then. I'm also
me too.
fairly
Okay.
charismatic.
So Garen,
Potion
Hathar,
seller. I'm
and
going into
Akuma.
battle.
So as you approach the
strong
shop,
as
the
fuck.
door is closed. But as you're starting to walk towards it, it almost slams open, and you see this. You've seen enough of them to know that this is another type of hag, but one that you've not come across so far.
Running a shop.
Oh,
Who then
Okay.
looks over. You can track her eyes. She hasn't said anything yet. And looks over and sees the horse that Gustav is on. Turns to the rest of you. Well, come in then.
She's speaking Abyssal again? Or?
She's speaking common to you.
Okay, all right.
Potion seller. I'm going into battle. And I need only your strongest potions.
She's okay. She turns to you. To do what specifically? Your strongest potions to do what? To heal,
healing?
to hit harder. What do you want?
What do you have?
Come into my shop and you don't know what you want. Just potions. Any potions will do, apparently. Fine, have these. And she reaches down beneath her kind of the main desk and pulls out 4 potions and sets them down. If you don't even know
say
what
to
you
her-
want, you might as well take these and go.
No, I
Healing
would like.
potions.
I would like something that. I would like something that improves my wiseness, maybe.
Improves your wiseness. Fine. And she'll. I need to. Do you have a specific potion that you're looking for?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't actually know if this exists or not.
There's one. I've seen it before.
Okay.
Oh, definitely. I'm asking her for a potion of haste.
Fucking haste, man.
You and haste. Okay. So she turns to you all. Fine. Here, take these and. Oh, fuck, I don't really care. Potion of haste, fine. And she goes over to one of the shelves and pulls out a potion and sets it down on the counter. You want something to make you wiser, yes? Fine.
see if she have any potions of mind control there.
She ignores the person that stayed outside completely. And she goes over and grabs a potion that has this almost indigo blue tint to it and sets it down. Anything else?
Yes, my friend outside, the one on the strange horse, mentioned anything that would allow him to control someone else's mind?
Very few potions to do that, unless you get the other thing to drink the potion, of course.
True,
Or
I actually
resist
have one of
magic.
those. I'm quite a purveyor.
Well,
of
if you already
potions
have the
myself.
potions that you want, what the hell are you wasting my time for?
Well, because we want to give you money.
I
How this
asked.
works?
And she leans forward.
I asked to
Is money?
to Hathar if she has anything other than potions.
As she leans forward because she can't hear that conversation.
It's very complicated.
Do you really think money is the reason I let you in?
Well, what do you want in exchange? Everyone wants something.
And she just kind of stands back for a moment.
It's a hag.
You
what do you
don't
think?
know whose horse you have, do you?
Yes.
Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is fantastic. Here, have these for free.
Okay.
Right.
This will be
Seeing as we're
funny.
here, being laughed at already. How about anything non-liquid?
No.
Okay.
Kind of look at this potion and be like, okay.
All right. So what we have haste. We have.
You have haste. You have a potion that I don't know if it's an official potion or not. It probably is. Essentially, will give you advantage on wisdom checks. Wisdom saving throws for a minute.
There's something that like outright increases your wisdom, but it costs like 50,000 gold or something.
Yep.
Like this.
So you have those two. In addition, she did put 4 potions initially on the counter that you recognize as healing potions.
Why the hell not?
Yeah. Potion of speed, is it, right?
I don't know what it actually is. Effectively, it would cast haste on you, yes.
Okay.
Good. Any more of those
Healing potions? Are we taking those too?
Yeah.
No,
why not?
I have given you everything I want to.
Okay.
Good day.
How are we communicating with her if we cannot hear?
She's been making sure to look at you.
I should have asked if you had any potions of removing deafness.
I say to the others in my head, let's go to every shop and wave that big horse card. It gives us free stuff, I think.
But Gustav, can we just remind ourselves, who did we meet and whose horse did you end up with? Because why is this such a
The
comedy
horses
to
of the.
Well, this seems to be Titania's horse, no?
Hethar, no, Lilith gave you the horses.
Oh, Lilith. Okay.
Hethar, make an Arcana check, please.
$27.
Jesus.
Natural 20. So, number 1, the creature in front of you is a night hag, which is actually not a fae. It's considered a fiend. However, as you're putting those pieces together, something clicks. Most hags are fae, including one archfey that is a hag as well, named Baba Yaga.
Nice.
I think Chris is going to have to fill in some gaps here.
With that 27, a natural 20 on that, Baba Yaga is known... Fae are tricky.
No.
If she is involved and is making deals, number 1, there's absolutely no way that she is going to lose. She only makes deals if she has a win-win. Number 2, you do not back out on a deal with her. It has historically never ended well for anyone that's attempted it.
Interesting.
And number 3, where hags tend to make deals that always backfire on people, her deals are particularly dangerous.
Uh-oh. Is she like the
She is
patron of
known
Tasha and
as the Queen of Hags. And she is, actually, by theory and rumor, a former mentor of
Tasha?
a famous witch named Tasha.
So hang on, everybody. Are we saying that she was in that hut with the others? Or she was in on the scene?
It's Lilith.
Lilith.
You put together that Lilith is probably actually Baba Yaga, which would also explain how damn powerful she is and why she seems to always know what hags are up to.
Well, my friends, I feel like this may be an adventure that makes or breaks us. So maybe we just go along with what we're getting here.
All right.
Tell me something new.
It's a pity we've got such a schedule to keep. Right.
Well, I'm not getting off this horse. I mean, shall we maybe, if we are certain and heading into battle, we could make sure I never lose track of that horse and get you on it, Father. You seem to be a much more suited combatant for this type of combat.
Why, Gustav? I was thinking of suggesting the very same. How kind of you.
Yes, that's me.
The Lord's lessons have been getting through to you.
So, as you continue down the road, on foot or on horse with some potions and a nagging feeling that this is more complicated than you even realized at first.
It's best not to ask so many questions.
You eventually come across a inn that has a sign over it that says both in Abyssal and in Common, the Scaly Dog.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we enter as confidently as possible, but you can't take a horse in there, so you have to...
In fact, Gustav, can you make an animal handling check for me, please? 18. Ooh. That's pretty good. So the horse bucks you off.
That was a good outcome, you mean?
It could have been worse. Anyways, the horse bucks you off, and you just hear as Baba Yaga's horse trots away, the voice of Baba Yaga only in your head, Gustav. Take your time, dear.
Okay. I don't like this, but what can we do?
So, you all enter the Scaly Dog, and it's an inn and tavern, much like you've seen before. There's the smell of beer in the air. There is a bard playing music in the corner, though you can't hear a damn bit of it. Which, judging by the reaction of some of the patrons and the fact that the few people that are in here are sitting as far away from the stage as you can, you decide might actually be a blessing. Among the patrons, you do see a couple of the demon and demonic denizens of this town, as well as a sprinkling of a few fey creatures. There's a drow sitting in one of the corners. You see a pure white satyr in leather armor sitting at a table, as well as you see three what you recognize now as quicklings after running into the tricksters in the glacier cave, all standing on top of the table with their whole 1 foot high stature, all drinking from the same mug and then racing around the mug, apparently playing some sort of game. And as you watch them, they race, drink, race, drink, race, drink. And the pattern of their circle gets a little looser and a little wobblier as they go on.
I've seen this game played before. I believe it is called a Quickling Fire Drill.
And behind the counter, you see a Aranyes, a female devil that is long jet black hair over red skin, and a black
like
a black, simple but well-fitting dress and apron. Turns to you. Hello.
Hey, probably too loudly.
I'm keeping an eye on Garon in general.
Still twitching.
Four of the house speciality, please.
She turns, takes a mug, and there's a couple of huge barrels behind her, and she just opens the tap of one of them, puts 4 beers out. What brings you here, outsiders?
Kind of think I know what she said.
Mm-hmm. And she's speaking in common.
Oh, she's speaking in common.
Vacation.
Still can't hear it.
She turns towards you, Gustav.
Kidding. Lightening the mood.
Bullshit.
It's an inn. Yes. No shit.
Oh, if you wish to lighten the mood, we have ways of doing that here, at least for us. What do you need?
Be careful what you handle here, Gustav.
Nobody comes here on accident. What do you need?
What do we need?
Good question.
We're looking for a certain someone. Let us put it that way. A certain 2 people, in fact.
Whom? There's lots of people trying to hide in this city. Who are you looking for?
These ones were older than most. They're two hags. Might have been carrying around something of particular value.
Hags come in and out all the time. Do you know where they might be going or what they had?
That, I'm hoping one of the others can answer.
Do we want to tell them where we want to go, or
Not. Let's say they stole something valuable to us or something like that. Just keep it.
It's the truth.
Aye. Relatively true. It's no sin to lie to a demon. They themselves are sin incarnate.
Let's address that theological debate later.
By the way, what are your names, if I may ask?
I stick out a grey hand and I am Hathar.
Mortimer?
Call back. Thara. And as she's hearing these, she writes up on a board that you see kind of behind the bar that has on the left side lists of sometimes 1, sometimes 3, sometimes 5 names. And then going across the top, you see single names going up. And then it's kind of this like grid with different numbers filled in. And in some of the rows, you see one of the numbers circled. Some of the rows, nothing is circled yet. Some have blank spots, some don't. You're not entirely sure what it is, but as you're telling her your name, she starts writing them in that left-hand column.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Now, I can tell you right now that you're not going to get any help outside of this tavern, so if you want help, I'm the one to ask.
Oh, we've already gotten free potions. I wouldn't say that.
Oh, now that is fascinating. You're the ones that came in on her horses, aren't you?
Word spreads quickly.
It's not every day that outsiders come in riding the ladies' horses.
Yeah, pretty cool ride, eh?
We'll certainly
Many
make
gifts.
bets rather interesting.
Aha.
Bets. Is that something to do with this counting of the names?
Oh, absolutely. You're not the first outsiders to come through. In fact, it's our specialty here.
Any other outsiders come through here lately?
Everyone on that board has come through at some point.
And where
And
did you send them off to? Where did they go?
Wherever they needed to. It's a big plane. Let's
How
see
long
it.
is this board, actually?
Oh, cool.
Sorry?
How long is this board? Like, is there a huge number of names here or what?
There's not a huge number. There's currently about 10 groups that are listed. You're the 11th right now.
Oh,
Any of the names on the board ring a bell?
yeah.
Make a history
I
check.
would.
How many of these are still alive?
Can we all?
23 for a history check.
Yeah, I'm book smart. I don't look
you
it.
do notice a few names of some famous adventurers. One of whom, the name itself, you don't recognize some of the ones with the person. But you do recognize one name as a particular adventurer of note that went to Pandemonium at some point, or at least that's some of the stories attached to him. Managed to come back. And you notice that line doesn't have any of the numbers circled. In answer to your question,
It's the
Aku,
only one that is not circled.
of the 10, there's 2 that aren't circled yet.
What's the name of the not circled ones?
The one you saw has the name that you recognize is Xanathar. There's a couple others with the group, but you're not sure. And you notice one of the other ones that's not circled has the name Tasha in it.
Oh, no pressure.
Xanathar is the beholder, isn't it?
That's one famous Xanathar, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who?
Yeah. Aku does not know this, though.
I might have picked it up when I was working for the mage at some point.
Anyways, so in answer to your
mean-
question, Aku, if the number's circled, that's how many days it took before someone found their remains.
Oh,
Aha.
Now,
Well,
where are you going? I can send you in the right direction. It's hardly fun to bet on something that never leaves.
Well, we're going to the... You want to say it? Or, I mean, I don't know.
We are looking for 2 hags.
So you've said there's lots of hags.
All right, we're going to the Court of Air and Darkness.
Oh. Are you still speaking slightly too loud, by the way?
Probably.
Okay. Almost in like that Wild West kind of trope where the piano player suddenly stops and everybody looks over. Like, you can't hear it, but you all feel suddenly all eyes on you. And the Aranyes just turns to you. And turns back around and puts a big number 2 under her name.
Under my name?
Under her name. So she's betting 2 days.
That's twice as much as we expected to be here.
Lean towards her and is like, your faith is appreciated.
As you say that and you look up, your perception's high enough to notice that 2 is a very low number.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's not until...
In that case, I will say your lack of faith pains me.
Prove me wrong. The group comes back alive, then they get their bets.
In this case, now seeing the names on here and stuff like that, I'll tell her to erase Mortimer and write Gustav Goldhand.
What are the stakes? What are people betting? I ask her.
Money, what else?
What's the currency here?
Gold. Gold, darling. What did you think it would be here? Blood or something like that?
Never been here. Could be souls. Could be... I don't know.
Money seems very
souls are
uninspired for a place like this.
The plains of the devil. You're in the abyss, dear. Money.
But you are a devil, are you not?
I'm a devil, running an inn for outsiders in the abyss.
Okay.
Hardly seems like I'm going to do the normal thing, don't you think? Now,
fair enough.
This is a town we have currency. Money makes the world go round, of course. I mean, if you want to trade souls, there are people here that will naturally do that.
Is there any way to gear up here for gold? Other than the potion hag?
People that will trade with outsiders? In Windglum? Huh? Good luck.
Gold is gold.
Gold is gold, and outsiders are outsiders. This is about the only place you'll find a warm welcome in this town, and that's mostly because I make money off of you.
Well, speaking of that, how about 4 more of those drinks?
Are fake creatures or hags, are they also outsiders here?
They would be, yes.
Okay.
A devil also technically would be an outsider here. This is an abyssal plane. So this is a plane for demons, not devils.
Okay.
Coming through here, this is very much a hodgepodge town. What you're gathering leads to the people that live here and grew up here or spent most of their lives here become townies, regardless of where they started. Anybody that's new is immediately distrusted. Anybody that's new and looks like you three, not counting Hathar because Hathar fits right in, you're very much distrusted.
Yeah, I'm used to that, so.
You stand out like a sort of can.
Now then, if you wish to get to the court, there are those here that might guide you for a price. Or I can simply tell you the direction to go and wish you good luck.
Why not both?
Fair enough. As she sets the next 4 beers down. Continue down this road. Take a rise to the next major intersection. Follow it all the way out of town. Then keep going straight. You'll know it when you reach the borders of the Queen's lands. And do be careful, it is... Actually, and she looks back at her bet, don't be too careful.
Anything useful you can tell us about the Queen's lands? Who were the servants serving in this place?
There's one over there. Ask him. And she points towards the white satyr.
Oh, interesting. The parents going to take a
The
note.
satyr's already looking at us?
Oh, yes. Ever since you mentioned Queen of Air and Darkness, he's just been staring at you.
You, the rest of you can finish up here. I'll go have a little chat, I think.
I'll follow you. As usual.
As the two of you approach the satyr,
Lurk in a corner somewhere.
and the other two lurk in a corner somewhere, there is this odd moment where, as you're coming to sit down, the satyr moves his head towards you half a beat later than you would expect. And as he does, you look and realize that his eyes are just white. Like, you still have the black eye, like a black iris, and then the center of it is just white. And looks almost past you. You take a beat and realize that this creature is blind.
Oh.
We're collecting everything here. Blindness, deafness.
How are we going to communicate with him?
And he just
he's
motions
blind.
you to sit.
Yeah, like Aaron kind of slams his drink down on the table very angrily. He sits opposed from this figure. He's like still sort of twitching a little bit. He puts his sword lying to the side as he sits down and says, You serve the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Just simply nods his head.
We have business with the Queen. We need to reach that woman's lands.
So I heard. Why? Make a perception check, please, Garen and Aku.
Okay.
Perception.
10.
10 for Garen. Again, because it's not a human mouth, there's some. It is, but isn't. And you're kind of put off by the white eyes and just the general appearance. What you realize is an albino satyr. Just everything that you see of the satyr, just natural form, is pure white. And as you're kind of taking all that in, you miss what he says.
Oh. Okay. As in, he said something else other than why, or we just missed why?
You kind of miss the why. Like, the mouth moves and you can make a guess at what he said, but you're having a hard time actually following a conversation.
Could you repeat that? We cannot hear.
Why do you need to find her?
All right, let me put it this way.
Yeah, you
Do you know where
basically got
demons
why
come
and her from that.
Okay. Do you know where demons come from?
Here.
Here, of course. But this place, all places that is the home of the ye folk, ye demons. Ye are just nothing more than twisted corpses which went wrong from the first angels created by the Lord.
I put my hand on his shoulder.
And the satyr turns to you. What do you know of twisted corpses? And lifts his head up, and you see beneath a choker that has a black jewel in the center of it. As he lifts his head up, you see across the neck scar tissue running all the way across the throat.
Oh. It's an interesting piece you have. He sort of like gestures a bit to his own white collar. This was the queen who did this?
The queen did this, and touches the collar itself, not the scar. Why?
We're going to stop what your queen is trying. I would rather have her dead myself.
And I'd rather stay here. I rather like it. Our interests may align. Most of what you get from that with your perception checks is some form of at least not immediate, no, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we should write it. Maybe you could write it down, what you're saying? We have trouble hearing.
And yeah, we'll get out, the satyr will get out a piece of paper and a small, rummaging through his pack and pulls out a small inkwell and pen and writes down, I can help.
Very well.
Good.
We'll be traveling, we four. Show us where this queen lays.
He writes again, to the border, no further.
I suppose that'll just have to do.
Payment, question mark.
The Lord shall have mercy on thine soul.
Serve queen, not a lord.
He gives an exaggerated, exasperated, sigh. Fine. Pulls out some coin, and he'll give 500.
500 gold?
Yeah.
Looks at it. Takes it. Crumples up the piece of paper, walks over and throws it into a fire nearby. Nods at you. Just simply says, Cambrian, follow. And starts walking out the door.
Guys, we have a guide. Let's go.
Alright.
Okay.
I guess we follow.
You do, and very quickly as you're walking out the door, you see Cambrian put a gold piece on the counter, and as he's walking out, he'll just hold up number 4 with his fingers behind him. And you see the Aranias turn over, and you see Cambrian's name up there, and write a 4 under his name next to your guys' line.
Nice.
I like this.
Only 1 gold. What's the purpose of this?
So, you follow Cambrian outside, and he doesn't really even look back. He just starts walking. The direction that the Aranias gave you, towards the next intersection, takes a right, follows it all the way down. Every once in a while, he'll turn back just to make sure that the 4 of you are still behind him, but seemingly doesn't want to associate too closely with you at the moment. And soon enough, you're at the edge of town with another gatehouse. This one a lot better maintained. And beneath it, instead of 2 hobgoblins, you spot 2 ettins. Giant creatures with 2 heads. And without even breaking stride, Cambrian takes another gold piece out of his pouch, flips it to one of the ettins, and motions for you 4 to come along.
Nice. As we're moving, Garen will say to the others, that thing we're following, it's a corpse, by the way. It might not surprise you all to learn that this queen dabbles in that art.
Well, technically you're a corpse, so...
Twice!
I am a holy spirit sent onto this world to destroy you.
Corpses, eh?
Wow.
Really?
He's
1
a
gold
corpse.
for passage. I think we are pandemonium rich.
As you leave the city and enter just again into the long, dark, open cave of this part of Pandemonium, Cambrian slows down, waits for you to follow. Now then, follow me, and try not to let anything see you. And he will turn, and as he does so, despite the fact that he is pure white minus very dark leather armor, the natural shadows and darkness of this cave seem to wrap around him, making him, even his white form, slightly more difficult to see. And as you take that in, you notice that the same thing is happening to all of you as well. He's effectively cast Pass Without a Trace on you.
Oh, cool. Stealth mode engaged.
I'll inspire us on the way for 22 temporary hit points.
So you're going to be speaking out loud on the way?
No, I cannot speak out loud because the others wouldn't understand me.
Oh, right. So telepathic link. Okay. I just had in my head the stealth check while you were making this big motivational speech at the same time. Speaking of stealth checks, I need you all to make a stealth check for me, please.
How many temp HP? 22, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Good old Quill's party stealth checks. Here we go.
Mine's a 19.
That would be a 24.
Shadows against
And you have plus 10 from the Pass Without a Trace.
Then a 29.
Oh, cool.
Still only 13.
50.
24 with the 10.
Okay.
Could actually just turn into a shadow.
As the time passes, you all... all you have is just this slight bit of white that you see through these curling shadows every once in a while to follow. He doesn't bother making audible overhears to you all because he knows you can't hear them. And you're wondering, those of you especially not familiar with traveling underground wonder how the hell he's finding his way as you wind through these curving, wind-worn passages into caverns that could hold multiple feasting halls of a castle. You find yourself crawling through tunnels that you literally cannot stand up in.
Can I try to remember the way?
You absolutely can. Can you make an intelligence check for me, please?
My specialty. Or not? Wait. 17. Oh, man.
You might have a fair shot at getting yourselves back. This is a incredibly difficult place to navigate. So while you're pretty sure like you're following some rights, some lefts, and kind of the general gist of where you're headed, specifically finding your way back directly, maybe?
I just write down whenever we go right, I make an R. Whenever we go left, we get it out. Okay. Just write it down.
Can I ask Cambrian what's his business with the Queeness and why he wants to stay away from their domain?
Cambrian just turns to you and mouths very clearly to you. Later. Can I have one of you roll a d8 for me, please? Seven. Okay. As you are going through the passages, you go through this narrow, twisting, winding tunnel that opens up into a large cavern that is filled with these white-blue glowing mushrooms. Cambrian turns to look at the four of you and just mouths, "Don't breathe." And we will come back to that in 10 minutes. As our party attempts to navigate the winding tunnels and twisting caverns of pandemonium. deafened to the world around them and only partially able to see in front of them, guided by a servant of the person that they've said they're trying to stop. What could go wrong? We'll find out in 10 minutes. And welcome back. When we last left our party, they were being guided by the albino, blind, possibly undead, Satyr Cambrian, servant of the Queen of Air and Darkness, who's seemingly is agreeing to help these guys despite their trying to stop her. Right. But he's been their guide through this initial journey away from the one big town in Pandemonium known as Windglum, as they traverse the winding, wind-swept caverns in the dark, coming across a open cavern that is filled with seemingly bioluminescent mushrooms, with a strange haze in the air above them that seems to be moving slightly with the constant wind in this place. As Cambrian turns to you and says, or doesn't say because you're all deafened as well, mouths very clearly for you, hold your breath. As he turns and starts not running, because that would use air too quickly, but jogging through these mushrooms. Do you follow?
On my broom.
Okay.
I don't breathe, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. I need all four of you to make Constitution saving throws, please. Gustav, you may do yours with advantage since you're not expending as much energy.
Do it with advantage anyway.
Even if I don't have to breathe?
Edge case.
I don't need to breathe, so does that still apply to me?
Yes.
He nodded already, yes.
Yes. You all rolled really well anyways.
Bizarrely constitutional.
Jesus, guys. So
It's only a 26.
24, only a 26. Jesus. Garen, 20. Thar, 19. 24 and 26. You get through the first half of the cavern fairly well. Gustav, flying up on your broom, you're just kind of floating through this mist that, as you're going through it, you realize are spores from these mushrooms. Aku, you kind of wander through and go, seemingly unaffected by the spores as you go through. Garen and Hathar, as you are kind of trying to jog and keep up with this, your lungs start burning and desperate for air, and you're trying to control it and keep from breathing in, but it's almost, especially with the blue glow and the constant mist of these spores around you, it's almost triggering a feeling of being underwater for too long. And just before you make it to the other edge of this field of mushrooms, each of you takes just a small breath in before you catch yourself. You are currently infected, which will effectively, you're poisoned. The status condition poisoned.
Okay.
It's not poison, so if you're immune to it, it still applies. But that's effectively what's happening right now.
Hathar will have the +5 if he stays close to me. I don't get that though.
Okay.
To be clear.
Hathar, you actually, that would put you into a success then. So
I feel the Lord filling me.
Yep.
And I try to repel it, but I know it's helping.
As you are about to get to the edge, and Garen is right behind you, and the two of you are towards the back of this, just at the edge, Garen almost shoves you out of range of these spores. As Garen finally takes that little bit of air in. So Athara, that does not apply to you.
I've also just got to point out something I've just noticed that could make things very interesting. I didn't actually realize. I just noticed when I was looking at this. That weird staff I picked up actually gives me immunity to being deafened.
Oh, this just got fascinating. Hathar.
Oh, God.
Well, this explains why you could hear the hobgoblins. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, dear.
13.
Again,
Okay.
Oh, +5. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Also, is Garen affected by a disease? I think paladins are immune to that, aren't they?
or poison.
This is a unique thing. This is not technically a disease. It's not a poison. You've inhaled some mushroom spores.
You get superpowers now.
Yeah, no. Poison condition. I was just double checking so I tell you the right thing. So it's effectively the poison condition, which at the very least is disadvantage on attack throws, as well as ability checks. Not saving throws. Those are not affected, but attack rolls and ability checks.
Ouch.
As you feel mostly normal, just slightly sluggish.
You okay there, Father?
It's just all these deaths, they're really getting on me, you know.
Yep.
I actually do have a little something on me that may help you. Let's see how you go.
Aye? What could that be?
I carry many potions with me. Some I've been carrying for some time. Let's see if you need it. Let's see how you go.
What are you using?
No, I'm not going to use it yet. Let's wait and see.
Okay.
Oh, wow, I have a large greatsword.
What?
What?
I just checked inside my bag of holding. I seem to have a large greatsword somewhere. Must have picked it up from any place in the past. I also have a large sapphire.
Oh yeah, it's that sword we found, but we never identified.
Uh-huh.
Can you also have a look to see if you have I think they call it in certain planes a gas mask.
Oh yeah, I just found it in here just now. It was crazy.
As you all come to a stop outside of this, Cambrian turns back towards all of you and sees you, Father Garen, kind of huffing a little bit. He just pulls out a piece of paper and kind of puts it on the floor, writes it up, hands it to you with a smirk, and then turns and continues walking.
An idiot.
Nope.
He's definitely he's like, as soon as he looks up, he's like buckled over and he looks up and sees that this thing is looking at him. He immediately tries to straighten up his back and it seemed like he's perfectly fine again. But yeah, he opens up this letter.
I told you not to breathe.
Garen, are you alright?
Questions for you later, demon.
But anyways, you're able to continue your journey. As another hour passes, first of all, Hathara, I need a wisdom saving throw from you again, as the sound of this rushing wind
For once, an immunity
going by you is just 19. You're fine.
24 then.
Yeah, it is. It's rough. It's
Now I
just-
can actually refer to it and because I did mention that damn wind earlier. Now you understand why.
It's a little bit like having just a small speaker playing static in the background that just will never turn off. and just seems to get
some people find that comforting when they hear
louder and louder the longer you're here, it seems like. I also need somebody to roll a d8 again.
How about this time?
I hate these parts.
I love these parts.
Is it better to roll low? Is it better to roll high?
It doesn't matter.
4.
At the middle. Sounds good.
As you're going, and Cambrian's trotting ahead of you, you see off to the side just a little glimmer. And just a little bit a ways from you, you see a small pool of water. Looking into it, there's just a little glint of something among the rocks and dirt underneath it.
If I see this, I'll mage hand it out.
You attempt. What's the weight limit on Mage Hand?
It's 5 pounds.
You grab at it with Mage Hand, and it just doesn't seem to want to move.
There's an object in there, larger or heavier than 5 pounds.
Do we care?
It's shiny.
Where is it?
So at the bottom of this pool, as you're looking closer at it, and Cambrian's kind of stopped to learn to just turn and watch you. It's hard to see distinctly what it is because of the constant wind rushing over this. There is just this rippling effect on the top of the water. So there's no real distinct form. You just see something glinting in what tiny bit of light is here.
I'll shape the water away so we see it more closer.
How much can that affect?
5 square feet.
Okay. So you move the first 5 feet of water up and away.
Yeah, like a 5-foot cube, yeah.
Or at least attempt to.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't move.
Oh.
It's not water. I asked Cambrian if he knows what this is, if it's water or if it's some other substance.
And he turns back to you and just turns to Hathar, who he's kind of realized can actually hear a little bit, and yells over the wind, "I don't fuck with stuff out here."
Turn back and he says, don't touch it. That's all I got.
I touch it.
Okay. Aku,
I'm kidding.
Then don't say it.
Come on, that was obvious that it was a joke.
Not with you, it's not.
No.
Fair enough.
No,
okay,
it's not.
In all fairness, then, okay, I touch
Remember
it.
the
Already said it.
Hydra from a couple adventures ago?
Lol.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. More Hydra.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Okay, I still touch it, though. I'm
Okay.
just-
As you reach into the pool, I need
Just a
you
little
to
finger.
make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay, mind control now.
Athar backs away.
16, actually, with Garon's.
Garen, were you standing next to him to help him with this?
I want to talk to the satyr.
Yep, so
I mean,
that's just an 11.
We're like within 30 feet now. It's like a 30 feet
Sorry,
range.
Luke. It is 30 feet, so I don't know how far the satyr's gone.
Okay. Actually, with +5, it doesn't matter anyways. Sorry. So as you reach towards it, and your hand touches it, and you feel that initial sting of acid on your fingers, something just draws you in. You want to get to this, and you just dive head
Cannonball!
first into this. And the rest of you that are watching this, as soon as Aku breaks the surface, all of a sudden, the surface of this pool goes still. Like there's something protecting it from the wind. Aku, first of all, you immediately take 4 points of acid damage.
Since I'm always raging too, right?
Are you always raging?
Oh, he's raging.
Yeah, I mentioned that last time that I'm
Okay.
consistently raging now that I have unlimited rages. Like, why wouldn't I?
Okay. So, You're now raging. You're now in this pool. You can see down to the bottom that there is a what looks to be crown with a large sapphire set into it.
Oh.
Am I compelled to take that?
Yeah, you start swimming down towards it.
Oh yeah, I am definitely taking that.
As you head down, you take another 6 reduced to 3 points of acid damage.
All right.
If you're always raging, aren't you never raging?
This is a philosophical question that all
What
level
really
20
is rage?
barbarians.
Schrodinger's
That's my
rage.
secret. I'm always angry.
As you reach towards this thing, the rest of you just see the still surface of this pond, and now that it's still, you can make out the crown also that Aku is going for. You also notice the slight burnt acid burns at the edges of his metal body.
I'm getting acid etched here.
Yeah, you are.
Getting black.
I've got this rope that can itself move. It can reach out. So he'll sort of freak out. No, go get back here, you damn fool! And he'll throw in this rope to try and catch him.
You toss the rope, and it skitters just about an inch off the surface of the water.
He lifts up his sword and starts whacking it.
You start whacking it, and you whack at it, and your sword never actually touches the surface of the water. Aku. As you reach out and touch the crown, can you make a charisma saving throw for me, please?
I sure can. My specialty. Best save I have.
16. You're within 30 feet of Father Garen. That helps.
Oh, 21.
So you grab the crown. And you're about... Let's see here. So it took you 2 rounds to get down there effectively. Yeah, I'll say you're just within 30 feet. You swam slowly. So you're 30 feet down right now. As you reach out for the crown and again take 6 reduced to 3 acid damage. Start swimming back up. You reach the top of this pool and you cannot break the surface.
Oh, shit.
Can I try harder?
Sure. We're going to go into a pseudo initiative order here. So you get an action and then action around.
All right.
So as you reach the surface and you reach back and try and hit it, your hand just kind of bounces off of it.
I'm gonna do it with the axe since it's a magical axe. It might help.
Your axe bounces off of it as you take 9 reduced to 4 acid damage. Anyone else like to try anything at this point?
I wave my wand and say something to the effects of Expelliarmus, and I try to dispel magic on the surface.
Okay, you dispel magic, and there's a slight glow over it that just shimmers across as your spell enacts with whatever effect this is, and then dissipates. And Aku is still bumping against the top of whatever this is.
Well, I barely tried anything, and I'm all out of ideas.
Anybody else want to try something?
Nothing. I mean, I could turn into an incorporeal form and go under, but that wouldn't really help. If I could cast it on him, that would be useful, but I can't.
Machine.
Am I myself again, by the way?
Yeah, for the moment, though. Weirdly, you don't want to drop this crown.
All right.
Under the water.
I might have an idea.
I could teleport in and out, but
That's what I was trying to do.
I don't think I can carry people.
Okay.
Can I try something?
Nope. Not yet.
I'll misty step in on my turn.
Yeah.
Damn it, Aku, I'll get you out of there.
So, Father Garen, you misty step in and immediately take 8 points of acid damage as you appear into this acid pool. Hathar, are you going to do anything?
I don't think I can do.
Okay.
So I'll just stand there and slightly smirk.
Okay, Aku, back to you. As you take 1 point of acid damage, reduced to 1 point of acid damage.
Wow.
Reduced to a half point of acid damage.
Are you going to try and do anything?
I see Garon now with me, so I figure he has a plan, so I shrug.
Gustav, Hafar, anything you would like to do at this point?
I'll hold my action to see what Garen is doing.
Okay.
I'm actually going to talk to the satyr.
This Cambrian's just sitting back and is taking out a snack and is just eating, watching this whole
sit
thing.
next to him quite casually and just be kind of like, so, what's going on here?
He just turns to you. Not a fucking clue. I told you not to touch things.
Didn't? I'm pretty sure I didn't touch anything.
Garen, start of your turn. 3 points of acid damage.
3. Get over here, you robot fool! I'll
look who's
dimension step out.
And you'll what?
Or dimension door out.
Dimension door out. Okay, that'll work. So as you dimension door out, you appear back next to the surface of this pond that starts rippling again as the wind starts running across it.
You fool, we're in the realm of demons and heathens and evil all alike, where you can't touch anything here.
I got this, though.
Ooh, shiny. Does it look like the crown we've seen on the dragons?
Nope.
That would be too easy.
Yep.
Maybe you would think that you would fall for the sin of avarice. Unbelievable, Aku. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over myself. I was not quite myself, actually. I did touch it, though, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, and you're still carrying it.
I'd like to turn back to, I keep forgetting his name, Cameron?
Cambrian.
Cambrian.
Cameron.
Just like, so, what's he got there? Do you know?
Looks like a crown.
Fine.
Aku, do you mind letting me identify this item?
I'm not so sure about that. Why do you want to identify it?
So I know it's safe to use.
It's safe. It's totally safe. Everything's fine.
You think it's quite reasonable that you're being repulsive and not letting your friends touch an item that you just got out of a well?
If you want to let him touch it, you can.
You can touch it, but careful.
No, I'm getting a bit suspicious. I'll snip my fingers and my familiar appears.
Okay.
And the familiar is like.
What form does your familiar in right now again?
It's a little sparrow.
Okay.
And it sits atop the crown, and I'll deliver a touch spell for the next 10 minutes, which is identify.
Okay. It's a crown.
It's not magical of any kind?
There seems to be some magic in it, yeah. It's old magic. It's really old magic.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure what this does.
It doesn't talk to me or anything, does it?
It is heavily, heavily necromantic, though.
Oh, hello.
And I don't want to give it away, or what was that?
You at least don't want to drop it for now. You're holding on to it.
I say we cast the accursed thing back to where we got it.
I disagree.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
I learn of all its properties, at least according to the spells.
I know.
I disagree. I think it might be interesting. I'd like to just look at it a bit closer. Sidle up to Aku and just kind of look and see if I can recognize any symbols or anything.
Nothing that you seem to Oh, make an Arcana check, please.
Ooh, 25.
25. As you initially look at it, it just looks like a very fancy crown. With a large central sapphire. And then you look slightly closer and you miss it at first in the darkness of this cave, even with your enhanced dark vision. But there is very fine, very intricate rune work over this entire thing. Well, it looks like simply a metallic texture that's been added to it. As you look closer, you realize it's actually script, and the entire thing is covered with it.
Do you recognize the language?
It is... what languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Undercommon.
Draconic, if that would help.
Sylvan, Elvish, 10 minutes, any language.
Ridiculous.
As you're looking at it, the script is the same as Undercommon. Ish.
Old.
It's like it's a script that shares that's a predecessor to Undercommon or shares a root language somewhere.
Like Old English or something like that.
Turn around to Gustav and look more enthusiastic than I've probably ever looked in a long time. And just be like, there is something very dark and very old here.
Yeah, wait. My bird will need another 10 minutes to cast Comprehend Languages.
As you're casting this, Cambrian, are we going or what?
I don't even know if we want to know what this is right now, to be honest.
We can do this on the go. My bird is touching it, and I'm on my brew, and I can concentrate on it.
You can cast a ritual while you're flying on a broom through your familiar.
Can I carry him while he casts that?
I don't know.
So it's 10 minutes to cast a ritual, but it is a ritual.
He can draw the circle on my back armor or something.
No. No traveling rituals.
I mean,
at least not with that setup.
All right.
To give you a weird analogy, I can free-handedly drive a bike while writing a WhatsApp. So,
Wow,
As you've proved many times.
Okay.
I say to Cambrian 10 minutes.
I mean, I won't be here in 10 minutes.
Come on.
I think we need him
I give him 50 more gold. How about that?
5 minutes.
100 gold then.
10 minutes.
Establish the gold per minute price.
I'll give him 150 gold just to be sure.
Whilst they're doing the ritual, I'd like to talk to him again. And it's like, how long has this been here?
I don't think he knows anything. He made a point of not really.
I can get you to the Queen's Lands. I don't fucking know every rock on the way there, and nor do I want to.
I wasn't asking about a rock. I was asking about, a very strange lake with a very strange crown on it. But sure.
Yeah, and if you want to survive this place, you ignore those things.
Where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that, indeed?
I have another question for you, demon.
I'm not a...
Maybe I'm calling it.
Everything is a demon to him. Don't worry about it.
What?
No, everything's a heathen. Anyway, you said that you wanted to stay in this place when I revealed, our plan. What do you mean? Does the Queen want you all to leave?
Do you even know what you're trying to stop?
Well, the incarnation of evil is enough for me.
Incarnation of evil. That all. Just laughs.
What do you know of this shawl?
And I'm assuming Hethar's translating or something for you.
Good question, that point.
I've probably cut out a few things like heathen and demon and stuff.
By the way,
Needs to be
Hethar,
common, though.
as you're sitting here and taking more time, can you make another wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Oops.
Fail at some point.
18? Okay.
23 at home.
Okay. What'll you give me to tell you more?
I give him another 50 gold.
No. Not gold for that.
You're like a vending machine.
Ka-ching.
Ask him if he takes gems. You hear in your mind.
You're focusing on a ritual.
I'm multi-thinking. multi-tele. All right.
There was a certain dragon placing rituals into what I believe to have been your plane. I will give you scale armor made from the dragon scales itself.
No.
What color scales?
White.
Done. What do you want to know?
Garen.
What's the Queen trying to do with Shawl? Why the new alliance?
Shah has tried to take over the world a few times. Decided friends would be helpful this time.
You said Shawl has tried to take over the world?
Shar has tried to take over the world a few times and has been defeated a few times.
Okay. Why would your queen be willing to help them?
Piece of the pie. What else? Spread chaos, darkness. It's kind of her thing.
And this ritual that they're trying to perform, what's their methodology? What do you know of the ritual?
Oh, performing, I believe, at this point.
I
Told you we should move. Now, I have no idea about the fucking ritual of what they actually need to do, just that lovely, pompous-ass prince's heart is part of it.
Okay. What can you tell us about this castle, this land? How can we get in? We need some reliable route.
Well, I mean, you can't just walk in once you're on the outside of it.
Surely you know
It's not
another way.
blocked.
Like, does he know another way?
Are you asking about into the lands, her lands themselves?
More her, I presume she has some, like, castle or whatever, you know, some place where she resides.
The Queen doesn't think in such narrow terms. Her realm is her castle.
Fine. Then, one last thing, or rather, I'll reiterate the same question. Why did you think that the Queen would have you leaving this land?
What do you need if you want to take over somewhere else? Not just a strong general, but...
Of course. This I might have predicted. That army of the dead, walking on the earth of the Lord.
Yeah, whatever.
My resolve is bound, I say in my mind to the rest of the party. We must stop the damned heathens.
Sure thing, buddy.
Sure.
Stop the heathens. I mean, that's kind of what we do, isn't it?
As you're now finished that conversation, which only took a minute or two, he actually immediately switches out his armor for the white dragon mail.
Oh.
And Gustav, eventually you finish your thing. Well, you understand the script through the magic of your ritual. It's not... You realize that it's not language per se. It's a series of magical runes. So it's not like a story. There's not a narrative meaning. It is simply a series of magical symbols. You do catch that a lot of them dealing with necromantic magic, a lot of it has to do with preservation.
So between identify and comprehend languages, do I get like...
Make an Arcana check for me, please. 24. This seems to be a very ancient version of a reliquary. The thing that a lich needs to store their soul.
Cool.
I thought I would like to take a quick look at the quarterstaff he's been carrying. See if the symbols look familiar or similar.
Different symbols.
That would be pretty good.
We were fighting a lich, but that would be too big of a coincidence for this to be his reliquary.
Reliquary, yeah.
Reliquary.
So yeah, this seems to be a rather dangerous item and probably nothing too useful for us. But it's also something to be wary of just tossing around. We should keep it somewhere safe, I think.
I agree.
Should destroy the blasted thing.
Would you mind parting with it and putting it here inside my bag of holding, inside an interdimensional pocket where it cannot be traced as easily as in
I know what a bag of holding
depot?
is. Can I let go of it?
Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Am I aware of not being able to let go of it, or?
Do you reach out and try to let go of it?
Is it something I can grasp? Like, can I tell them I am unable to let go of it?
What do you try to do? What do you want to do?
I try to put it in the bag of holding.
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
19.
19. Yeah. You reach out and put it in the bag of holding, no problem.
Do I feel different?
No.
Okay.
As the crown enters the bag of holding that I am holding, do I feel different?
Nope.
Good. That's good.
That thing creeps me out.
The aura of that thing, does it seem familiar, as in, do we have encountered its owner before?
I mean, you've encountered one lich that, at least I'm aware of, and no, it doesn't seem familiar to that.
Okay.
Shall we carry on?
Sounds like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you move forward, Cambrian casts another spell again. You all watch the shadows kind of wrap around you. As I would like you all to make another stealth check, please.
Stealth mode engaged. 23.
Yep, plus 10 to whatever you roll.
That was plus
3.
I know. So 21, 23, 21, and 23. Consistent.
Nice.
And 32 from Cameron. Yeah.
Show off.
This is what he does. Okay. As you all worm your way around these winding tunnels, Cambrian looks back. Not far now. Need one last D8 roll, please.
Oops.
8.
4.
4 was already rolled.
Yeah, 4 was already rolled, so we're going to go with 8. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just brace yourselves. And I need, as you continue to move forward, the wind starts picking up and getting stronger as you move into this tunnel that's a little bit narrower and seems to be focusing the wind a little bit more. First of all, Hathar, I need a wisdom saving throw, please. And then I need a strength saving throw from everyone.
Oh dear. 11.
Okay. So, first of all,
9.
Hathar.
We get +5, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hathar, can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Oh, you're getting a cipher.
It's going to turn into a potted plant.
Nice.
29.
So as you start going, the wind just kind of starts getting to you, and you just start screaming as the wind starts to sound more or less like static and just howls of pain and anger echoing through your head. You are incapacitated.
Do you even notice that?
No, you don't hear it.
You don't hear it, but you see Hathar suddenly stop. As the rest of you start trying to push forward. So Chris automatically fails the strength saving throw because you're incapacitated. The rest of you succeed. He just stops as the rest of you are pushing forward through this driving gale force wind.
I'm not just going to leave him. I'm going to pick him up.
Okay, make another strength saving throw. You're essentially doing the first one at disadvantage now.
I mean, the lowest I can get is a 24, so...
Okay. In that case, you pick him
Well,
up.
29 with Garon next to me.
Jesus. Okay. You continue for another 5 minutes like this. Hathar, make another wisdom saving throw for me, please.
I'll pat his back a little bit. It's going to be all right.
9.
14, I guess.
Okay. As the howling just continues in your brain, I need another D100, please. $39. Okay.
Boy, am I glad that I'm deaf.
There's
I know.
a reason that this was a good thing for you.
One time having an immunity wasn't useful.
So as you're being carried on Aku's back, Hathar, you start to regain control of yourself. You're no longer incapacitated. But you are convinced that the source of this howling wind that's driving you mad and beating into your head is coming from Gustav.
I just like pounding on Aku. Just like, put me down. Gustav, how long have we been friends? Why are you doing this to me?
I'm not
What
putting
do
him
you
down.
What do you mean?
This wind, it's you, isn't it? You've become too powerful. It's gone to your mind.
Are you mad?
No, you are.
Okay.
Wait, you're not deaf, are you?
Hathar's not deaf.
We can telepathically communicate.
Do you think maybe it has to do with your condition of not being deaf?
I need all of you to make another strength saving throw.
Maybe you
29.
should let go of your little walking cane there for a little second.
No. Hang on.
Wow.
16.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, actually, 36.
Thanks, Aku. So you're no longer carrying Hathar, so that's just a straight roll.
No, I'm gonna keep carrying. I'm not putting him down.
What?
Something is not right with him.
Okay. So Hathar, you don't fail that save because you're not being pushed against the wind right now.
Okay.
Gustav, you stumble and you actually get slammed into a wall by the wind, and you start driving yourself forward. It's taking its toll. You take you take a level of exhaustion, please.
I'm flying though, right? I'm on my broom.
Oh, you're flying?
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Make a check. Don't do a strength save then, please.
Okay.
Make a check with your spellcasting modifier. So that's an intelligence check, please.
Regular old intelligence.
Yep. And you
check?
do not get a bonus because it's not a save from Father Garen. 10. You're trying to fly your...
Hold on.
Exhaustion is bad, dude. Just use your luck.
Yeah.
Okay,
Using a luck
with a point of
point.
luck, 21. You manage to keep the broom going, but it is hard. Flying in gale force winds is not the easiest thing you've ever done. As even Cambrian, who's apparently used to this, is struggling up front to just put one foot in front of the other, moving against these heavy winds. Thar, Gustav is doing this to you. He is the reason for all of this.
Look, he's up there flying, always out the way, never in danger, always flying around, always lucky. He's been after me the whole time, I'm sure.
Look at him. He's struggling just as much as we are. He can barely stay on his broom.
I should
would he do
actually
that to himself?
very, very, very quickly clarify, Peter. Is this
Yes.
charmed?
This is not. It
Okay,
is
'cause-
technically it's a long-term madness effect.
Okay, because that staff has positives and negatives. So yes, in this situation. Okay, I think I'm just like, I'm kind of stuck on top of Aku and I have no chance of getting down. I'm just like, it's him. It's him. I know it's him. I know it's him. He's been playing me this whole time.
You can certainly try to get down.
Yeah, well, I'll try. I mean, I've got tricks if I can't get down just normally.
Speaking of, you all continue push.
Actually,
Go for it.
Actually, hang on. We're in dim light, aren't we?
Yes, you are.
Then I just shadow walk out of his arms.
Okay. You shadow walk to the ground under Gustav. I need you, first of all, to make a strength save before anything else, as you now do have to push against this wind.
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to help you.
4.
9.
9. Yeah, like Garen before you, you aren't able to find your footing fast enough after using the shadow walk, and you immediately slam down to your knees, and you have to use every bit of your being to keep moving forward. You also take a level of exhaustion.
How about you all just like rope yourselves to me or something like that?
I'm fine.
Sure you are.
Cambrian shouts back, "Almost there!" As you continue pushing forward, one hard step after another, Gustav flying up on his broom, not having to work nearly as hard as you, Hathar.
Can I mean, I could just like shadow walk, make it slightly easier, I suppose. But yeah.
I mean, you still show up in the wind.
Yeah.
As you're going, the wind is getting stiffer and harder. It's almost like trying to walk against a hurricane at this point. I need all of you to make one last strength saving throw. Gustav, that's an intelligence check for you instead.
I'll try to like help Athar once he's collapsed onto the ground. Athar, what are you doing? Get up, you fool!
Okay.
I'm just-
33.
Okay.
Can I misty step towards the edge of this madness when we're almost out of it?
You can, but one more check first.
18.
18.
Is that disadvantage for me, advantage for Athar, or how does this work?
You cannot help on this particular save
Ah, okay.
because you're also fighting it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a stupid high amount for a coup. It's 18 for Father Garen. That is an 18 for Hathar and a 22 intelligence for Gustav. Okay. Gustav, you continue flying. It is insanely difficult. It is every bit of your focus to keep the broom going forward. There's a moment where you almost catch the side a little bit and almost sends you spiraling backwards into the cave, but you're able to hold it just enough. And you see ahead of you Cambrian kind of and duck off around a corner. That seems to be the end of this area. And as you get closer to it, Misty step into the safety of whatever side path that he's found. Aku, you are no problem. Your heavy metallic form, like a bastion in the storm, like a lighthouse on the shore. Do 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 do. Hathar.
I barely feel anything.
Still pissed now that Gustav not only causing all of this, but then he just teleports out of it.
Did I see where he goes?
Nope, just that. Well, I mean, you saw Cambrian head off, so the assumption is that he probably joined.
Well, I will probably just like zap in that direction, just swearing in Abyssal.
Before that happens, because the check comes first, before you get quite within range of it, what is the range of your Shadow Walk?
120 feet.
You got it. So yeah, you feel yourself start to get blown backwards and just have this abyssal fuck this and Shadow Walk into that area and you're fine. Father Garen, you bend down to kind of help Hathar, and then as you start to put your weight against him, he's gone. And you just face down onto the ground. And you are having to fight to get that last bit. Aku's now left you, so there's no windbreak from him as he's trudging along, and you fight every step to where the rest of the group is. Take a second level of exhaustion, please.
I mean, I would have. Never mind. I didn't mention it. No. I would have helped him. Should have helped him.
Did I fail one?
You did. So this is your second level of exhaustion.
Oh, from the 19 earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Ouch.
DC 20s are rough.
Yeah.
As you finally turn the corner, Cambrian walks a little further, turns to you. Okay, this is it. And he points behind them, and you see through, you've kind of come into a different chamber, and there's still wind blowing towards you that seems to be getting funneled along with other things, almost like rivers coming together towards the rough tunnel you just came through. A huge chamber, especially with some of you only having 30 feet of vision right now. It seemingly goes on forever. And as you approach into the chamber, you just see this wall of mist, almost, that you can sort of see through, and there seem to be, in just the very limited field of vision that you all have, Hathar, you can see slightly further with your improved dark vision. Trees twisting and winding their way up, with the roots almost like stilts above the ground, so the trunks don't start for 10, 20, 30 feet into the air. Well, this is where I leave you. Good luck. Bye.
Hang on. Just a second. How about you come back in 2 days?
No.
And bring us back.
No. In 2 days, I'll either be on the material plane, or won't matter. So, bye.
You could be on the material plane in 3 days with 1,000 extra gold.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion if this plan works, economy's not going to be a huge problem.
Wise words.
Good point.
Oh, I do also have a question. What would happen if the queen sees you here, or
There's a reason I'm not crossing that border with you.
Okay, so if I was to impersonate you, would that be harmful or purposeful to our cause?
I would love to see you try and trick the Queen of Chaos.
Do I still think
I say-
Gustav is behind all this?
I say to the others
yeah.
telepathically.
I mean, like, trick her. Huh, you're with her. You're playing with her. I know you are.
There is, I'll read you the actual text of what this madness is.
Okay.
The character regards something, there was a role behind the scene that led to Gustav, with intense revulsion, as if affected by the antipathy effect of the antipathy-sympathy spell. Gustav is awful. Just complete revulsion. He is the source of everything bad to you right now.
On the topic of Mr. Satyr, I say telepathically to the others, should we force him to accompany us, perhaps? How are we going to find our way back?
He has not done anything wrong. He has helped us. Why should we take him by force? How are we
going to get back?
Just teleport back to town, like always.
All right, I forgot.
Oh, sure. Teleport. Always the lazy coward's option. Sure. It's never gone wrong, has it?
What?
Excuse me, didn't you just teleport here into this area?
Different.
Yeah.
That's shadow walking, not teleporting.
You know what, Hathar? I think you're right. I think that's a good point. Why are you so lazy all the time?
Because I don't want to get exhausted before the fun starts. You seem an awful lot.
We should rest here.
Also not relevant.
Did you take enough electrolytes?
Enough what?
You know, salt and...
Oh, I thought you meant electronics. I thought I was the only one who does that. Anyway, shall we take a rest here? And is the wind still blowing here?
Oh yes, the wind is constant. It's not like threatening to blow you back against a wall like it was through that last tunnel, but the wind is constant and ever present here.
Would I have a theory as to what's wrong with Hathar? Given that he's like the only one slightly mad for some reason.
Make an Arcana check.
Because
make an Arcana check, please.
That his he's afflicted by the thing. 21.
21. There are stories of people going mad in Pandemonium that could be related.
So, since we are all dead, since we were helped, and Hathar isn't, there must be a reason behind that. But there's probably no logical explanation why that stuff would be causing that, right?
Yeah, you have no reason to connect the staff to that.
Okay. Well. If we're taking a rest, I don't know if we are. Probably not a good idea here.
We need something to protect us from the wind before we can rest, I think.
I mean, for us, it's fine, no? The wind, the strength saving throw shit is gone, but it's
correct.
And the wind is everywhere. It's like the background radiation of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Where would we rest?
Yeah.
I mean, but I'll wave my wand of magic detection to see if anything strange is afoot with Hathar, like a magic aura that gives me a different vibe from. I mean, he's always looking pretty dark, but
yeah. Nothing shows up from that. This madness isn't technically a magical effect. It's not a spell.
Could I use Identify on him.
He's an Aasimar?
No, I mean the spell Identify, because it also identifies any sort of magical effects. Effects caused by spells.
You could try, but you would also know from that last Arcana check that this isn't magical. Like, the madness that affects people from here isn't a spell. It's not a magical effect.
Aaron, don't you have something that could help with that? Does your Lord of Light, or what he's called, know how to heal the mind?
What are you doing during all of this?
Like, come on, are we getting on with it? Come on, stop talking to him. Come on, let's get going. Come on.
Okay. Hathar, as you are kind of ignoring them and you look through the mist, just at the edge of your vision, about 60 feet in, you see a figure by the root of one of these trees that is seemingly face down, with the root kind of crawling over it.
Probably talk to Father Garin at this point. Well, not that it really matters. We have this broadcast. It's like, there's someone ahead.
I ready my weapon.
I'll try to see what I can see.
It's out of your range of vision. It's too far out. Hathar is the only one that has the range to see it.
Should we just go? Actually, no, I'm going further forward.
Well, what are we doing? Let's go towards whatever Hathar just saw and say hello.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going.
Okay, as you approach the wall of mist, do you speak Sylvan?
I do.
Okay. Do you approach the wall of mist as well, or are you hanging back?
Yes and yes.
So you're both approaching and you're hanging back?
I think if we're all approaching, I'm the last one in line, because I'm also like hovering.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah, I'm leading the...
So, Aku, you see as you get to the edge, just in your field of vision, it doesn't show up to anybody else yet, symbols glowing in the air. But they make no sense to you. Do you continue walking? Are you stopping? Are you...
I will continue walking, but I will not go like through the symbols. I will like if I have to stop.
They're on the edge of the mist. It's like as you get within a foot of them, they appear. So before you even step through the mist, they show up.
I stop right before the symbols and hold my arms out to stop them. There's something here in front of me.
Let me see.
Okay. As you approach Gustav, the symbols appear before you as well. And you see in Sylvan, roughly translated, "Welcome are those of our kind. All others must pay a fine."
It says here that it's basically if you're Fey, you can pass through. If you're not, there's a price to pay.
Does it define the price?
It does not.
Hathar,
Pay a fine.
Make a perception check for me, please. At disadvantage.
I'm not very perceptive.
But you have the best vision right now. 12.
12,
Okay.
and I don't know if that includes Father Karen or not.
No, it doesn't. That's only saves. Okay. Actually, that would be a disadvantage because of the exhaustion, if nothing else. So,
It'll read disadvantage.
Yes, double disadvantage. Roll 4 times and take the lowest.
No.
No. So 12. Okay.
Well, I, for one, would do well to rest before we cross any suspicious boundaries.
Here.
I could
In the
do with a
mist.
rest.
That doesn't seem wise.
I don't mind. Doesn't seem so bad here.
I'll speak a bit more loudly in Sylvan. Hello, gatekeeper.
No response.
I pass through.
Okay. Gustav walks through the mist, and as you cross the other side, it's still dark to the point where you still have the shortened dark vision.
Stay back for now.
But
I'll test the waters.
but you can feel moss underneath your feet, and you can see these trees growing with their roots like stilts. And as you look up, you see just a flicker of light every once in a while going through the tops of these trees, and you realize that there's other trees growing down. So almost like you have 2 separate forests meeting in the middle.
That's not weird at all.
The trees on your side, at least, possibly the other side as well, though you can't see that far. Your vision doesn't extend. Even with the lights in the trees, you can't see the top of this cavern. Just glimpses of the trunks of these huge trees. The roots near you, these stilt-like things that these trees are standing on, the smallest ones, as big as your leg. And as you approach about 30 feet in, you catch sight of the figure that Hathar saw, with what seems to be a root growing over top of it.
I'm following him when he steps through.
Okay.
Be careful.
Aku,
You're not Fae.
You go through.
Are you Fae?
Yes.
You're through. Aku, as you step through, it feels like something is sapping the energy from your systems.
Continuously or just once?
It doesn't take long to pass through, and the whole time you're going through, it's kind of this weird... And it starts as soon as you cross into the mist. And as you exit out the other side, you kind of get the systems kind of go in order, but it still feels a little sluggish. Take 1 level of exhaustion, please.
No. Energy reserves critical.
Anything happened to you? Told you to stay back.
Well, I thought since you went through, I could too.
I told you. There's a price to pay.
Do you have something to explain?
You didn't pay it?
No, but I'm obviously not of this world.
How should I know? Humanoids are humanoids to me.
I've told you I'm 150 years old and I look like 20 years old. Is that normal? Never mind.
I've met people way older than you.
I'll dart to the route.
Okay.
Where do I put exhaustion on my character sheet? Is it somewhere?
It's in conditions. I can help you with it later. Gustav, as you approach it, make a perception check, please.
Duh, not my 40.
14. Okay. The route as you get there seems to be wrapped around whatever this was. It looks to be humanoid in form, but it's mostly rotted at this point. You can see bones sticking out in places. And the position it's in is almost like it was crawling forward.
But it's quite obviously dead?
Very obviously dead, yes.
I see if I can identify something about it or see like who it was. Maybe ideally find an ID and remember the names on the tavern board.
Oh. Okay. Make an investigation check, please.
And doesn't those speak with dead, does he?
7.
Oh.
This is a dead body. It has some adventuring type gear on him. What its purpose was, how long this body's been here, it's hard to say.
Could I also check it out?
Sure, make a separate investigation check, please.
I got this.
25.
Wow, I do actually.
Mm-hmm. As you're rooting through...
Infravision.
As you're rooting around this creature, whatever it was, you see in its hand what looks to be an empty vial. And there's a drop of red liquid at the bottom that looks very similar to a healing potion.
Oh, didn't help it much.
I was just gonna say the same, man.
Ay. Does he have anything else on him? Did you check his pockets?
Standard gear. There's a handful of gold, maybe 4.
I mean, that makes me kind of think, and like either he has been looted, so to speak, or like what does somebody with regular run-of-the-mill gear do in this place?
Can we figure out what kind of creature it is?
Mm-mm.
What race?
It's way too decomposed. You can do a medicine check.
Oh yeah, sure. I will do that.
12.
7.
It's 12 and 7.
It's a humanoid.
It looks to be humanoid in shape. Or at least was at one point.
It's a creature.
Are you guys communicating this telepathically, or?
Yeah, like we're getting to the root of this. We couldn't figure out much.
I mean,
it doesn't feel good to come in here, so you should probably stay back.
Good to know. But there were only a few names that weren't like ticked off, or weren't. There were only a few bodies that hadn't been found before the person survived.
Yep.
What else is around apart from these symbols and the...
At the moment is just the trees that you can see, the kind of weird canopy that in the middle being illuminated sparsely by these occasional lights moving through. And that's about it. There's not a lot else.
There's no like natural edges, it's just darkness.
It seems to go on, it goes on at least as far as your vision does.
Which is not very far.
Yeah. Which is 30 feet for most of you.
You guys are not through yet, right? You didn't pass the membrane or something?
I don't want to come anywhere near you.
Fine with me.
But also, I was just checking.
End of a great friendship.
I have this touched by the Shadowfell thing. I was just checking. It's like the complete opposite of the Feywild. So I don't think I'm going through that.
You're going to get 2 points of exhaustion.
But actually, this barrier or whatever it is, does this seem to be the whole region, the whole like county of Spring?
It extends as far as you can see.
Which isn't very far.
You could just... actually, I've got an idea.
I have an idea also. I'll fly back through the other side. But this is risky. My idea is basically to touch one of them while they pass through.
We can search around for another way in.
Then they would be touched by Faye.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, what was the line?
Don't touch me.
What was the original line? That might actually work. No.
Welcome are those of our kind. All others must pay a fine.
Of our kind, I mean. Could be anything. Could be coincidence.
I mean, in the downtime, Garen will like walk in one direction to see if he can find even any curvature to whatever this thing is.
If there is a curvature, it's so slight that it's not noticeable while you're walking.
This place is pretty big.
Do we even know at all where to go?
Nope. In. Was all that Cambrian gave you was, here's the edge. I got you where I said I would.
You should have brought that white son of a bitch.
At the very least, I'll summon my sparrow, which is a fake creature, on Father Garen's shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try go through.
Okay. As you go through, it's almost like the wind is driven from your lungs.
Yeah.
And as you get on the other side, you just fall to your knees gasping as you take a 3rd level of exhaustion.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Peter, does death get rid of exhaustion?
What are you saying?
You know,
I mean, technically, yes.
it might be the easiest way.
Yeah, but you have revival sickness, don't you, when you get revived?
You do.
Which is basically the same. Kind of.
Depends on how you're revived.
Yeah, like if I just heal him when he goes out.
Yeah.
No,
I think
Revivify.
unconsciousness doesn't remove exhaustion, though, does it?
No.
It depends on how long you're unconscious.
It needs to be like full on dead.
Yeah.
The thing is, I could do it. I've revivified, but I don't think anyone else does.
I don't think you can revivify yourself anyway.
Nope.
Exactly. Well, yeah, for sure not.
But
All right.
we have this thing.
So, Hathar, you are now the last person on that
I'm
outside.
just going to look in front of us like, screw this. And just kind of focus at a point as far as I can see in front of me and shadow walk to it through
Okay.
the barrier and see what happens.
Can you roll a D100 for me, please?
He did.
41. You do show up on the other side, but at some point moving through this, it feels almost... It's a little bit like the old Play-Doh spaghetti maker things. Like getting squished through too small of a space. And you reform on the other side, but it's... like it took a part of you with it when you moved through this barrier. Take a point of exhaustion, please.
This better be worth it.
We should have gotten some anti-exhaustion potions. Why didn't we think of this?
Actually...
What do you mean? I feel great.
Oh, I love it.
Don't you also have a point of exhaustion?
No, I don't.
Nope.
I took
He's
the
the
luck
only
point.
one that doesn't right now.
All right, you lucky bastard.
He's also
Behind this
fair.
all. Look at him. He passed through the barrier unhindered. He's behind it all. He's been guiding us the whole time.
Come on, Hathar, what's wrong with you?
What do you mean, what's wrong with me?
Where's that coming from?
I'm beginning to think there's nothing wrong with this guy at all. He's on the money.
As you
Hey,
are
true stuff.
having
Money.
this,
What about that 7,500 I got that one time? But that seemed awful low.
as you're having this argument,
It's not an argument. It's a discussion.
there is, you see, Aku, you're the first to notice this. The blue lights above you start to slowly descend
Oh no.
and coming towards you and forming this circular spiraling pattern.
This looks familiar.
Eventually, different blue lights, not flame-like. Just like motes, almost like glowing motes of dust that circle and then form this almost like halo over a figure lounging in the roots of one of the trees. Welcome. I'll be called the Game Master.
What now?
Guy.
Let's have a game, shall we?
Oh, I
Who
thought
are you? We totally have no idea
And
who we
then-
are.
I just
And
took
we
something
will pick
completely
up
different.
here next week.
With our old friend.
With your old friend, the Game Master. Some of viewers might remember from Battle Royale, finishing up Tier 3. He's back.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But we as players don't know him. As characters don't
You as
know
characters don't know him. But yeah, he's a familiar face for this overarching arc of the story. Yeah. So, you are now within the Queen of Air and Darkness's realm. Being about to start a game, apparently.
It's not the worst thing that happened so far.
I like games.
At least one of you is not exhausted while you're starting this.
What's one level of exhaustion?
Disadvantage on every ability check.
Which is still a 24 for my strength checks at least.
So we'll pick up here next week on the 30th and see what the hell is in store for these guys next. We'll see you guys then. Till then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and tell more stories. Bye-bye.